You ever try to unlearn a bad golf swing? Once you learn it the wrong way, it's next to impossible to correct. You try to retrain your body, but that original movement pattern, the one you practiced over and over, is ingrained. Muscle memory is stubborn like that. It's just like learning to play the piano. If you keep hitting the wrong key over and over, your fingers memorize the mistake. They really get good at playing it wrong. To fix it, you've got to slow way down, retrain the motion, and teach your hands a new story. And riding a bike, that's muscle memory too. It's why you can hop on one after 20 years and wobble for 5 seconds before it all clicks again. Because your body remembers. Now, imagine your body does the same thing after every injury. Today, we're going to talk about what muscle memory really is. Not just the fun stuff like riding bikes or doing yoga, but the deep stuff, the stuff your body never forgets after years of pain and injury. Sometimes it's not that your muscles aren't strong enough. It's that your body is still replaying an old story. What feels like weakness might just be memory on repeat, a pattern your nervous system hasn't let go of yet. Think your muscles are just for lifting? They do more than power your motion. They're your body's silent protectors, wired to store memories, brace for danger, and react before you even know there's a threat. They absorb impact, remember trauma, and shield you from pain. You move because of them, but you survive because of them too. Your muscles act like the guardians of your ligaments and discs. When something moves too far, too fast, or too unpredictably, they step in and say, "Not today." They contract, they spasm, they swell, all to stabilize that area and prevent further injury. Your muscles are like your body's built-in security system. When they sense danger, whether real or remembered, they lock down. Not to punish you, but to protect you. And here's a visual that hits it home. Picture a mother driving with her child in the front seat. Suddenly, a ball bounces into the street and she slams on the brakes. Without thinking, her arm flies out across her child's chest to protect them. It's not planned, it's instinct. That same protective reflex lives in your muscles too. When your body remembers a past trauma, even if it's long over, your muscles react like it's happening all over again. Like deja vu in your nervous system. They brace, tighten, and prepare for impact, whether it's coming or not. That's exactly what your muscles do for you, especially in areas that have been hurt before. They remember, they protect, they guard you like a mother guards her child from danger. When we hear the phrase muscle memory, we think of skills like typing, riding a bike, driving, or swinging a golf club. And that's true. Repetition builds efficiency. But there's a protective side of muscle memory that most people never talk about. After an injury, your muscles don't just heal and forget, they learn. They memorize the trauma, the tension, the emergency response your body had to mount. If you've ever hurt the same area more than once, you know how fast it all comes back. One wrong move, and boom, muscle seize, pain flares, swelling sets in like an alarm. Not because something snapped, but because your brain remembers what happened last time and is trying to stop history from repeating itself. Muscle memory isn't just about movement, it's a survival reflex. A deeply embedded protective system that kicks in long after the threat is gone. Muscles have a GPS system wired into them. They know exactly where every part of your body is and where it was at the very moment of injury. They track positions like a black box on an airplane. They don't just remember that you were hurt. They remember how, where, and in what position. It's like muscle PTSD. Your body isn't overreacting, it's remembering. Muscles never forget. They're like elephants. They remember where you were, what position you were in, and what damage occurred for every injury you've ever had. It remembers back in high school when you dove for a football, arms stretched out wide. It also recalls when the person from the other team tackled you, thus creating your first major spinal injury, a disc bulge. Now, years later, you're in a heated yoga studio, gliding into a pose that by chance mirrors the same outstretched arm position from when you got hurt playing football. The heat opens your spine, just like it did back then. And suddenly, your muscles remember. Not the yoga, the past, the football trauma. They lock up, spasm, and drop you in pain. Not because you're actually in danger, but because your body thinks you are. It's reliving a moment you never meant to repeat. So here's where it gets personal. When I was 26, I had a serious low back injury when I was in grad school. I remember that I had to lay on my belly all the time because this was the most comfortable position that I could find. I didn't think much of it. I was young. I was invincible. But my MRI told another story. I had an L3 disc bulge in the front. I had an L3 disc bulge in the back, L4 in the back, L5 in the back. After a string of treatments, I got my back to playing a lot of basketball and volleyball. But from ages 26 to 42, I had periodic flare-ups. Moments where tying a shoe or lifting a box sent me to my knees in pain. By the time I was 42, I had another MRI done just to check in. And guess what? The same exact result as before. An L3 disc bulge in the front, L3 in the back, L4 in the back, L5 in the back. No worse, no better. Same disc bulges, same measurements. At first, I was surprised, but then it hit me. This meant something important, something most people and even a lot of doctors overlook completely. My muscles, those guardians of the discs, are actually doing their job. They kept things from getting worse. Sure, they gave me some pain, some spasms over the years, but they stopped those bulges from turning into full-blown herniations or prolapses. Muscle memory isn't just annoying, it's protective. It's heroic. Let's get specific. Ligaments connect bone to bone. When you tear or stretch them, the joint becomes loose. We call this ligament laxity. Wherever there's ligament damage, there's abnormal joint movement. Bones shift more than they should, and your muscles rush in to protect you. So if you're in a pose that mimics the same position from a previous injury, boom! Your brain recognizes the setup. Your body doesn't wait, it acts. Muscles tighten, swelling floods the joint. Pain lights up. It's a full response to a deep-seated memory. Think about a dog that's been abused. The biggest compliment that this dog can ever give to you is the moment that it finally fully trusts you. When it lies next to you, belly up. Now that's full surrender. That's faith that you'll protect it from whatever might come. That's exactly what I want for your body, for your muscles. I want them to feel safe enough to lay down. Even the gentlest, most well-loved dog can still jump at the sound of thunder or a slamming door. Old fears don't just disappear. They hide until something stirs them up. Your body works the same way. A healed lower back can suddenly seize up when a surprise twist or jolt triggers a memory that it hasn't fully let go of. It's not weakness, it's protection on repeat. That doesn't mean that you're broken again. It just means you need to calm the system. And that's where things like yoga, acupuncture, targeted stretching, foam rolling, chiropractic care, or even a ginger bath can help reset the nervous system, letting those overly protective muscles know the coast is clear. The longer this pattern continues, the more sensitive your system becomes. Eventually, tying your shoe or sneezing wrong can set off a cascade. Your brain's just trying to protect you, but it's operating on outdated data. The more abuse your back has been through, the harder it becomes for your muscles to relax. Trust takes time to rebuild. Just like an abused dog must learn that a raised hand means affection, not pain. Your body doesn't just remember movement, it remembers danger, even if it's not real anymore. But here's the beautiful part. Just like bad patterns were learned, new ones can be learned too. Repetition builds trust. Movement becomes memory. You start stacking new, healthy associations. Instead of your brain saying, the last time we were in this pose, we got injured, it starts to say, we've been in this position now 50 times since my injury, and nothing bad happened. This is how you retrain muscle memory. Slowly, repetitively, intentionally. Every rep is a vote for a new version of you. One that moves freely, one that trusts again. Taping a leaky pipe doesn't fix the plumbing. Silencing pain with pills doesn't fix the problem either. We've been taught to hush our body's signals instead of listening to them. But those symptoms, spasms, swelling, tightness, they're your warning lights. A pain pill is like an electrical tape placed over your car's check engine light. Sure, it stops blinking, but the problem's still there, and the damage gets worse. Your liver, by the way, is responsible for breaking down all those medications, as well as helping repair muscles, tendons, and ligaments. When it's overwhelmed, healing slows to a crawl. When we medicate every message, we miss the whole conversation. Think of your body like a brilliant computer, but running on a 1,000-year-old operating system. Your body evolved to survive in caves, run from tigers, and lock down when hurt. Today, we know how to treat injuries far better, but your internal software hasn't been updated. It still thinks that swelling equals safety. It still thinks that tight muscles equals protection. But we can teach it better ways. We can update the program. It just takes the right inputs. When you start working out at a gym, most people don't expect to see results on day one. It takes time, repetition, and consistency. So why do we think that one day of chiropractic care, physical therapy, or acupuncture can undo 20 years of issues that were never handled properly in the first place? Losing 20 pounds takes work, but losing 100? That's a whole different journey. Chronic pain is no different. If your body's been stuck in survival mode for years, masked by medications and quick fixes, it's not going to heal in a weekend. There's no instant reset button. It's like untangling a knot that's been tightening for decades. It takes patience, the right guidance, and a willingness to keep showing up, even when progress feels slow. Feeling better isn't the same as being better. Too many people stop care as soon as pain fades, but that's when the real work should begin. Professional athletes don't stop when the pain goes away. They train past it because they know that partial recovery means a higher chance of getting hurt again. So they rebuild everything: strength, balance, flexibility, coordination, not just to perform, but to stay out of the injury cycle for good. When driving to the grocery store, I don't stop 3 blocks away. I drive all the way there. Call me kooky, Because when the next injury comes, and it probably will, your body needs a memory bank full of successful recoveries, not just pain responses. You've seen it. That dog flopped upside down, tongue lolling, paws in the air like it just doesn't care. That's not just a vibe. That's a body that feels safe. No tension, no guarding, just pure floppy trust. And while your body might not be rolling on the carpet, it can learn how to let go of fear, tension, and old injury patterns. Healing isn't about pushing harder. It's about teaching your body it doesn't have to brace anymore. That's the kind of peace we're building. One rep, one breath, one day at a time. That complete sense of safety, the "you're finally okay" kind of feeling, happens when your body stops bracing and starts relaxing again. And that kind of release is not just possible, it's teachable. Now, you might be wondering, is there something that can actually retrain your muscles to stop overreacting? To stop panicking every time you move a certain way? There is. In fact, there's a kind of movement that encourages your muscles to stop bracing and start trusting. Something that teaches your muscle groups to work together, not in chaos, but in harmony. It's gentle, but powerful. I'll show you why it might be the most important rehab tool you've never fully considered. Muscle memory is powerful. It's how your body keeps score of every injury, every spasm, every guarded move. But here's the good news. With the right input, that memory can change. Fear can turn into fluidity, tension into trust, and protection into peace. Thank you for staying with me through this important episode. What you've just learned isn't just helpful, it's foundational. In fact, I believe that the very foundation of how muscle memory works should be taught in every junior high school. It's that important, not just for athletes or people in pain, but for everyone who has a body and wants to protect it for the long haul. If we taught kids in junior high how muscle memory really works, we'd have a generation that moves better, heals faster, and avoids years of pain. Before I leave you, I need to tell you something. Something that still makes me shiver every time I see a patient with chronic low back pain. Did you know that the #1 hidden cause of low back pain is missed in over 90% of cases? And if it's happening to you, nothing else you try will fully work until it's addressed. That's where we're going next. It's the reason people never fully heal. Because they're looking everywhere except the one place that matters most. And once we show you how to find it, you'll wonder why no one caught it sooner. It's been ignored for years, misdiagnosed, masked with painkillers and injections. And I'm done watching people suffer because no one ever checked this. Remember, this was just one chapter. Hit subscribe so you're here for the rest of the story. This is part 1 in a video series for low back pain. In the upcoming videos, I'll show you exactly what the most common cause of low back pain is that's missed in over 90% of cases, and how to know if it's affecting you. I'll also be diving deeper into how to actually retrain muscle memory, how to reset those fear-based reflexes and build a stronger, more stable you. This could be the piece that no one's ever told you about, the reason nothing has worked yet. So if you've tried everything and still hurt, don't miss this. We're pulling back the curtain, one truth at a time, until you see the whole picture. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video gave you something valuable to take away. Your next step is just one click away. Check out our next video right here. And if you want to join this community and see more content like this, hit subscribe and give it a like. I truly appreciate the support.